So it's absolutely impossible for me in a couple minutes to explain to you the relationships I have with my little 2-year-old boy, to my 8th grade daughter, to my wife of 15 years. All I can tell you is each of these relationships with all 4 of my children and my relationship with my wife, they're all so different, but they're so intense, and there's such an amazing love for each of them. But it's absolutely these amazing relationships. And I think sometimes when we talk about our relationship with God, it's not really a relationship. Like, we don't really think of Him as a person. It's so easy when talking about God to almost see Him as a concept or an idea, and suddenly we fall in love with this idea of this almighty being, and we forget that He's not just this wonderful thing up there, but He's a person, and that He wants us to be madly in love with Him. And I understand there's a danger. We don't want to get to this point where we almost humanize God and treat Him like our little buddy, or sometimes we can even impose on Him human failures. Like I struggled with for a little while, where when I heard the concept of God being my father, I immediately thought of my earthly father. And so all of these human failures that I saw in my dad, I imposed those onto a holy God, and we have no right to do that. I think the balance is exactly as Jesus taught when He says, when you pray, I want you to call Him Abba. I want you to call Him Daddy. At the same time, He says, you pray, our Father, our Daddy, who art in heaven, hallowed, or sacred is your name. So you've got this idea of this intimate daddy relationship, and then you also have the same understanding that His name is absolutely sacred. And so I don't know how you can put those two together, because it's like no other relationship in the world, but we spend our whole lives trying to figure it out. I mean, when you understand that you can have intimacy with a holy God who dwells in unapproachable light, and that He calls you His child or His friend, I don't understand how you cannot see that as the most fascinating relationship in your life.